Good evening. Y'all come on in, come on in, come on in. It is our time together, Sunday night, 7 o'clock. This is what we do. It is Tea Talk with Dr. T. Of course, I have my cup of tea. I am so ready for y'all tonight because it is all about performance. Yeah. So make sure you share with a sis because she needs to see this tonight. I hope y'all been sharing these videos. I really do because I hope you are helping out a sis just as much as you're getting helped with everything that I discussed with you. I enjoy our 20 minutes, 25 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes, depending on what I got to say. I enjoy that time with you, and I hope that you are sharing this to another sis that needs to see this because we're not in this by ourselves. Let's not be selfish, sis. Let's share this with somebody who needs to hear this tonight because the truth of the matter is, we all have performed. That's right. We have all performed at some point or another. And I want to share with you tonight that we are done performing. Hey, Renata, good to see you tonight. Good to see you tonight. Make sure you are sharing with another sis that needs to see this. The danger of the performance trap, because we have all been here. We have all done this. Yeah. And unfortunately, we all got the t-shirt. But guess what? In midlife, we ain't doing it no more. And I said it just like from somebody from South Georgia. We ain't doing this no more. So tonight I want to start with this question. I hope you have shared this with another sis. Tonight I want to start with this question. When was the last time somebody asked you how you were doing and you actually told them the truth? But not only told them the truth, you actually told yourself the truth. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you actually told yourself the truth. Somebody asked you how you doing, and you actually took a moment, took a breath. You not only told them the truth, but you told yourself the truth. Yeah, because some of us have gotten so good at performing and pretending like everything's okay when it's really not okay. Sis, it's okay not to be okay. It's not okay not to tell yourself the truth. And so tonight, I want to talk about that performance trap because the truth is, it's a trap. It's a real trap. It's a real trap that we've been taught to walk into, but not only walk into, but to live in the trap for the rest of our lives. But tonight, girl, I'm helping you escape the performance trap. So let's start here, right? Let's be honest with each other. Can we do that? Can we spill the tea on ourselves? Is that such a thing? Can we really spill the tea on ourselves, Miss Brenda? I want to know. I want to know. When was the last time you looked yourself in the eye and you were honest with yourself about the way you feel mentally, about the way you feel emotionally, about the way you feel spiritually, about the way you feel physically? When was the last time you had a truthful conversation with yourself? I mean, like eye to eye, you were sitting in the mirror and you were looking at yourself and you said to yourself, Tracy, like you really are feeling this way. Can we be honest? Can we spill the tea about ourselves tonight? Because here's the thing. When you can't be truthful with yourself, that's when you fall victim to the performance trap. See, it's not about what happens out there. It's really about what happens in here. Because everybody, everybody that you have taught, I didn't warn y'all tonight. I'm walking heavy tonight, so get ready, okay? Everybody that you have taught that you are the strong one, that you have taught that you are the answer, that you have taught that you have it all together, everybody that you taught that to wants to continue to keep you performing. Yeah, you know why they want to continue to keep you performing? Because it benefits them. That's the first thing. But the second thing is this: it also benefits you. Why? Because it keeps you lying to yourself. And that's what feels normal to you. It feels normal to you to be exhausted. It feels normal to you to be tired. It feels normal to you to walk in emptiness. It feels normal to you to have the brain fog and the mental exhaustion. It feels normal. But can I help you tonight? That's not normal. That's performance. So you're the one who figures out everything. You're the one who's the strong one. You're the one who keeps it all together. You're the one who gets in the mirror and does it and put on your game face so you can come out and face the world. But what are you really doing for you, sis? The truth is, the world gets everything while you're slowly falling apart on the inside. That's part of the trap. Can I just be honest tonight? Everybody else gets everything they want while you are falling apart. That's part of the performance trap. But tonight, we're escaping the trap, sis. Tonight, we're going to give ourselves permission to walk out of the trap. Because in midlife, it's not about being trapped, it's about being truthful. Good God Almighty. See, if I ain't had this tea in my hand, I would be running around this living room right now. Midlife is not about being trapped, it's about walking in our truth. And that's what we're doing tonight. So come on, let's go. Because I want to give you three ways performance actually got started with you. Because see, we don't think about that. We've been doing this for 50 plus years. I'll be 56 in September. We've been doing this for 50 plus years. So can we be honest? We are experts at performing. Let's just be honest. We are experts at it because some of us learned early on how to start doing this, right? So here are three ways that you got trapped into this performance trap. Number one, you learn that being useful means that you are valuable. When you're useful, you're valuable. That's lie number one. That's not the truth. You are valuable whether you're useful to somebody else or not. But you learned early on that the more useful you are to somebody else, the more valuable you're going to feel. That's not true. You're valuable regardless of how useful you are to someone. But you learned early on, maybe you were the responsible child like I was. Maybe you were the child that made everything happen because you're the oldest, right? Maybe you learned how to be the peacemaker. Maybe you learned how to cook early on and now you're taking care of the family. That's part of the trap. You learned how to be useful and you equated usefulness to your value. That's not true. You're valuable whether you're useful to somebody or not. That's the first way we got trapped in this performance trap. Can I tell you the second way we got trapped into this performance trap? We equated achievement to approval. Achievement on man's terms, achievement on woman's terms, achievement equal the accolades of others, which equal their approval. And so we started doing things to gain achievement. And the more that we achieved, the more approval we got from somebody else. Good God Almighty. Can I be honest with you? This beautiful quilt that I'm sitting up under right now is one of my grandmother's quilts. And my grandmother, when you would go over to her house, she would just be sitting there watching the soap operas and quilting quilts, right? And you would ask her, well, Grandma, who's that quilt for? And her response would simply be, I don't know. You want it? And soon as the words "you want it" came out of her mouth, yes, ma'am, that is my quilt. And so she continued quilting on a quilt that you didn't even ask for. She continued quilting on a quilt, not to gain your approval, but to do something for herself. And as a result, you didn't have to perform. You didn't have to ask. You didn't have to gain her approval. She just quilted you a quilt simply because of who you were. So I have many quilts. As a matter of fact, a lot of my grandmother's grandkids and great grandkids and even her children have quilts, not because we were the best of the best, not because we achieved degrees or graduated from high school or because we were good at sports, but we got these hand, not machine, handcrafted quilts from her simply because of who we were. And to be honest with you, these quilts are one of the most valuable things that I own outside of the jewelry that my husband has gifted me. To have these hand quilted quilts by my grandmother means the world to me because I didn't have to earn it. I got it simply because I was her granddaughter, simply because of who I was. Doesn't that make you feel good? That you didn't have to do anything, but simply being who you are got you a quilt from your grandmother. Good God Almighty. So number one, you got trapped in the performance trap because you learned that being useful equals valuable. Number two, you got trapped in the performance trap because you equated achievement to approval. Number three, you got trapped in the performance trap because you realized that being vulnerable meant it was risky. And that's not true. That's not true. See, being vulnerable means that you're human. Can I prove that to you? See, y'all gonna make me go scripture tonight. Let me prove it to you. Being vulnerable means that you're human. Jesus was able to be vulnerable with his disciples, which meant that he was human. When you stop allowing yourself to show your emotions, that's when you start lying to yourself. Every script, every emotion that you experience as a human being, not a human doing, but a human being, sis, every emotion that you experience, Jesus experienced it in the Word. Jesus was angry. Jesus was frustrated. Jesus was fatigued and tired. Jesus was happy. Jesus was sad. Jesus grieved. Jesus did every emotion. But here you are trying to walk out this thing called life without being truthful to your human beingness. You're so busy being what you have to be or what you think you have to be for other people, which equates to you doing, not being for yourself. And so now here you are thinking, if I'm vulnerable and if I share too much, it's risky because they can use that against me. It has nothing to do with them. It has everything to do with you. Learning your truth and your boundaries and knowing who to share that with. Yeah. See, people will come to counseling and they'll tell me, you know what? I don't people. I don't like people like that. I don't trust the world like that. I don't trust people like that. The truth is, you don't trust you. The truth is, you're not being honorable to you. Because the more truthful you are to you, the more trusting you are at who you should be around and whose you should be around. See, you've got the outer courts, the inner courts, and the holy of holies. And when you make the mistake of letting people who should be in the outer courts into your holy of holies, they end up hurting you. Right? And so now you learn that I can't be vulnerable with people. No, you can't be vulnerable with the wrong people, but you can be vulnerable and truthful with the right people. That's part of the performance trap. Because now you're so busy performing that you're the strong one, that when you really need help and when you really need a listening ear and when you really need a chest to cry on, you can't find one because you don't trust people, because you ended up trusting the wrong people in the past because you don't trust yourself. So vulnerability is not risky when you are vulnerable to the right people. That means you've got to do a better job of being honest with yourself and stop performing, to be truthful with yourself so that you can choose the right people to be vulnerable to be truthful to. Because I told you in midlife, it's not about going around and doing things for other people. It's about being for ourselves. And when we're true to ourselves, we honor ourselves. So those are the three ways that you got trapped in this performance trap. You think that vulnerability is risky. You think that achievement is approval. And you think that usefulness is valuable. But it's not. And so now that you're trapped, it's like, how do I even thrive in midlife when I'm so busy surviving? See, being trapped in this performance trap keeps you in survival mode. It keeps you in survival mode. And I've shared with you before in my teachings that we were not meant to survive this life. We were meant to thrive in this life. Let me say that again. You were not meant to survive this life. Your happiness doesn't come when you die and you go to heaven. See, that's a whole nother teaching right there. Ooh, don't get me started on that. You don't die and go to heaven. Heaven is here. Heaven is how you create it here. The afterlife, ooh, child. Listen, you create the life that you want here. You don't wait to die to go to heaven to get your happiness. Happiness is created here. And when you're so busy being trapped and lying to yourself so that you can show up for other people, you're actually creating your own hell that you're living in now. Woo! You are actually creating your own hell that you're living in now. But that's not how it's supposed to be. This performance trap is not a trap that you stay in for the rest of your life, sis. You can actually get out of this trap. How can you get out of this trap? Before I get there, can I be honest with you? Can I tell you what being trapped is actually costing you? Mm, let's go there first because I'm going to tell you how to get out. But before I tell you how to get out, I want you to know what it's actually costing you. See, here are some signs that I want you to think about when it comes to being trapped in this performance trap. How you know that you're trapped, because some of y'all don't even know you're trapped. Yeah, you think that this is normal. So let me give you some signs that you know you are trapped in this performance trap. Number one, you starting to feel resentful. Yeah, you're doing things out of habit. You're doing things because you're worried about what they will think. And as a result, you're starting to feel bitter and you're starting to feel resentful. That's a sign you're trapped in the performance trap. Here's another sign you're trapped in the performance trap. You keep going even when your body is screaming to you, telling you to go sit down. Better yet, go lay down. Yeah, you're trapped in the performance trap. When your body is giving you every single sign, headaches, um, pain in your leg, pain in your chest. Some of y'all are walking around with more pain than you can even describe. That's not normal. It's not normal. But you normalize the pain. You're walking around with numb feelings. That's not normal. You normalize numbness. No, and some of you are walking around in physical pain. That's not normal. You're ignoring the pain. You're ignoring the signs. And when your body is screaming to you to go sit down, go lay down, please give me rest, you're ignoring your body. Come on now. I'm saying it good tonight. I know I am. Why? Because it's hitting you hard. It's hitting you hard. And I want to do that because I need to get you out of this trap, right? Here's another sign you're in a performance trap. You're emotionally depleted. Like on your car, when you riding around with that empty sign, yeah, that line is over there on E, sis, your line is past E. You're emotionally depleted. You're emotionally empty. You have nothing else to give to anybody else, but you keep showing up. That's a sign you're in the performance trap. Here's another one, when you're not even productive anymore. You just going through the motions. Like you wondering why you touching everything. Like you used to like baking cakes and you can't even do that right anymore. You used to like decorating houses. You can't even do that anymore. You go to work and you staring at the screen like, yeah, you're not even being productive anymore. That's a sign that you're in the performance trap. Here's another sign you're in the performance trap. You're always responding to everybody else's needs. Like you can tell me what your daughter needs. You can tell me what your son needs. You can tell me what your grandbaby needs. You can tell me what your spouse needs. You can tell me what your job needs. You can tell me what your parents need, but you can't even tell me what you need. You're trapped in the performance trap. You can tell me what your friends need. You can tell me everything about everybody else, but you can't tell me nothing about you. You're trapped in the performance trap. Here's another one. You feel uncomfortable receiving help. And I'm going to say ouch to that one. Yes, you feel uncomfortable receiving help from somebody else. I did this just the other day. I was at the grocery store. I've been working out this week. I did sprints this week with my trainer. I did calf raises this week with my trainer, and my Achilles tendon is a little unhappy right now. It's a little unhappy. And so the other day I was at the grocery store and the guy says, "Hey, let me take these out for you." And I looked at him and I went, "No, that's okay. I got it." What? That's his job to take my groceries out. But here I am not wanting to receive his help. Why? Because I got it. That was my automatic response. How many of y'all got an automatic response? Am I the only one talking to myself tonight? I got an automatic response when somebody says, "Can I?" And I go, "No, I got it." No, I had to reevaluate myself. Girl, your Achilles tendon is hurting, and you already got a halfway limp to your truck. No, receive his help. I look right at the little dude and I say, "You know what? I changed my mind. Come on, walk out here with me, baby." That's right. I had to catch myself in my own automatic response. No, I got it. And so now I'm having to go back and pull myself out of the trap because my automatic response wants to keep showing up. No, I got it. Guess what? No, I don't have it. I'm walking out of this performance trap. You want to help me? Okay, come on. I need some help. Oh, you got that? Great. Go on and keep having that. You want me to come to your party, but I'm physically exhausted. Wait, I'm sorry. You want me to decorate for your party, and then you're going to invite me to the party. No, that's okay. I'm done. Guess what? I'm walking out of this performance trap. Yeah. Stop the automatic response, sis. It's keeping you trapped. Here's another one. You're afraid that if you stop being the strong one, people won't know what to do with you. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Mm. That if you stop being the one that has all the answers, if you stop being the bank, if you stop being the babysitter, if you stop being the one that shows up, when you stop being that one, you're afraid that people won't know what to do with you, and you won't know what to do with yourself. It's okay. Just say ouch. It's okay. I'm right here with you. And so that's part of the performance trap. It is. It's a sign that you're in the performance trap. When you stop being needed by other people and you're afraid that if you start saying no, they're not going to be your friend anymore. They're not going to call you anymore. They're not going to be involved with you anymore. But is it really worth your peace and your sanity to keep saying yes? Mm, mm, mm. Is it really worth it, sis? Do you want to stay trapped in a place where you can't be authentically and truthfully who you are at this stage in your life? Because I told you we're not chasing the hustle anymore. We're chasing the truth. We're being who we authentically are. And so here you are, you can't even tell somebody no because you're afraid of what they'll think of you. Really? Mm, okay. So let's go to why you think the way you think. Your privacy, right? The thoughts that you have in your own head about you. What do you think about you? Not what do they think about you, but what do you really think about you? Because this is part of the performance trap. When you don't even know what you think about you, why then can you not create this image of who you really want to be? Think about that for a second. If you don't know who you really are, why not create the person you really want to be? Because you've gotten so used to being who they want you to be. The performance trap. See, we're not in this to win a Tony. We're not in this to win a Grammy. We're not in this to win a Golden Globe. We're not in this to even win the Oscar. No, you're in this to win this for yourself. Let me say that again. You're in this to win this for yourself. My t-shirt said it's the me mindset for me. Yeah, it's all about you, sis. And so in your private moments, here you are giving access to whosoever will, that you can't even create an image of the woman you really want to be. I was in a coaching session not too long ago, and I asked the young lady, hey, paint the picture. Let me see who she is, the woman you want to be 6 months from now, 1 year from now, 3 months from now. And do you know, my coaching client couldn't even give that to me. She could tell me what she wanted everybody else to do, but she couldn't even paint the picture for me of the woman she wants to be 3, 6, 9, 12 months from now. And so now here you are in your private moments having conversations about what you don't want them to do. but you can't create your own truth. Oh, Jesus. You can't create your own truth. Yeah. Ephesians 3:20 says it this way: unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all we hope by the power that's in us. See, it's in you to do it, but you just won't do it because you're trapped in the performance trap. You're trapped thinking, I've got to be this for everybody else. The Bible doesn't say that now unto him or to her who's going to do this for everybody else. No, unto him who is able to do exceedingly abundantly above all for you. That person is inside of you. So what are you doing with the person inside of you that's screaming to get out? What are you doing for the woman inside of you that's screaming to get out? She's screaming at you, but you keep silencing her voice. She's giving you signs and hints, but you keep ignoring what she's saying to you. You're looking in the mirror and you're lying to yourself when the truth is already inside of you. The truth is in you. It's in you, but you keep ignoring it. So where are you pretending to fit in where you no longer fit? Where are you pretending to show up in places you no longer want to go? Where are you pretending to be to other people where you no longer want to be? Why are you lying to yourself? I've heard years ago that denial is not a river. Denial is don't even know I'm lying to myself. But sis, you know you're actually lying to yourself. You know it. Why do you know that you're lying to yourself? Because it's a lie that you keep practicing it. You're in your car driving to a destination you don't want to go to, trying to talk yourself into getting there. Yeah, those conversations are the conversations that you're having. So as we wrap up tonight, here's what I want you to do. I want you to pull out your journal because I got some questions that I want you to think about this week. Y'all know how we do. I give you the homework assignment, and I hope that you're doing your homework assignment. Yep, good students, that's what we do. When ladies who are trying to move to the next level in their minds, yeah, because midlife is not about chasing, it's about living our truth. And so here's the first truth question I want you to ask yourself this week. Y'all know I have to write it down so I don't forget it, right? Here's the first truth question I want to ask you this week. Where in your life do I feel the most pressure to have it all together? So in your journal, you're going to write, where in my life do I feel the most pressure to have it all together? Do you feel the most pressure on your job? Do you feel the most pressure with your kids, your spouse, your boo, your babe? Where do you feel the most pressure to have it all together? And again, in your journal, you're going to write, where in my life do I feel the most pressure to have it all together? It could be at church. It could be on your job. It could be in your marriage. But this is your truth journal talk. Yeah, your truth. Here's the second question I want you to write in your journal. Here we go. Where am I afraid? What am I afraid would happen if people knew how I really felt? What am I afraid would happen if people really knew how I felt? What am I afraid of? If I really spoke my truth, what am I afraid would happen? And here's the third question. What do I actually need right now that I have been pretending I don't need? What do I actually need right now that I have been pretending that I don't actually need? You know, that you've been lying to yourself about? What do you really need right now? That's your homework for the week. That's what I want you to think about. What do I need right now that I've been pretending I don't even need? And so this week, I want you to come up with one truth. I want you to speak one truth to yourself this week. Not only do I want you to speak one truth to yourself, I actually want you to look yourself in the eye, look in that mirror, and I want you to speak one truth to yourself this week. But then I want you to speak that one truth to somebody else. Now that's going to require you to make sure that that person that you speak that truth to can handle your truth. Remember, outer court, inner court, holy of holies. To speak that truth out loud to somebody else requires them to be in your holy of holies. Not your outer court, not your inner court, but who you speak that one truth to this week has to be in your holy of holies. Your one truth may sound something like, I am in need of some rest. I need some rest. Your one truth may sound like, I need help. Yeah. Your one truth may sound like, I don't want to do this anymore. Yeah, because here's what I want you to think. You don't even know what you sound like. Let me say that one more time. You don't even know what the true you sounds like because you've muted your own voice. But this week, you're going to say out loud in your own voice what you need to you. You're going to speak your one truth out loud to you in a mirror. You're going to look yourself in the eyes. And then you're going to speak that truth to somebody else that's in your inner court. Yeah, because you need to hear what you sound like. All right, y'all. That's our tea talk time together. I've given you your homework. I helped you get out that performance trap. You now know that, listen, I am no longer equating usefulness to my value. I'm valuable even if I'm not useful to everybody else. You've learned that achievement doesn't equal approval. You don't need anybody else's approval but your own, sis. You all of that. Approve yourself. You've learned that your truth is your truth and you don't have to apologize for it. And so I want you to know that even as you go through this week, I want you to be honest with yourself. That the performance trap is just that. It's performance. You don't have to perform. And as long as you keep performing, you're going to stay trapped. So do your audit, do your truth talks this week, those questions I gave you. And I want you to sit with yourself this week. I want you to find yourself this week. Not all at one time, because the truth is you didn't lose yourself all at one time. It was a series of ways that you showed up and decisions and choices you make year after year after year. And so you're not going to find yourself in 1 week. You're not going to find yourself in one night. It's going to require you to do just what I gave you the homework to do, to sit with yourself and ask those questions. Who do you want to be 3 months from now, 6 months from now, 9 months from now, a year from now? What do you want? What do you need? You've got to start with the basic questions first. And those questions start with you. All right, sis. Until this time next week, remember to put yourself first on your own list. I will see y'all next week. Same time, same place. YouTube, Facebook Live. Hey, if you like what you just heard, make sure you subscribe to this channel if you're watching me on YouTube. If you're on Facebook watching me, make sure you share this with another sis because she needs to hear this. We've all been trapped in that performance trap before. We've got to help each other get out of it. Okay? So until next week, remember to put yourself on your list first. You are first on your list. All right, y'all. See y'all next week.